My name is Mohammad Akil. I am from India and currently residing in Moscow, Russia. I am founder and chairperson of the International Youth EduSkills Foundation, deputy head of the Project Office for International Youth Cooperation, Russia BRICS, and co-founder of the company Smart Meet Services. I will be moderator of today's session. Today we have honor to have with us three distinguished guests who will share their insights and experience. First, we have Mr. Sarthak Singhal, General Director of the company Wellness Impacts. Next, we have Mr. Roman Zeltov, Deputy Chairman of the Ulyanovsk Regional Chamber of Commerce and Industry. And finally, we have Mr. Mehdi Sultani, representative of the company Listera. During the talk, we will make you familiarize with the comprehensive information and practical recommendations on creating and running a business in Russia. Our target is to fill the knowledge gaps and equip you with necessary information to enter the Russian market with a business idea. Additionally, we will have the opportunity to learn the advantages and opportunities which Russia provides to young foreign entrepreneurs. The format of our discussion will be presentations by our experts and question-answer session. As we aim to understand the ground realities of doing business in Russia, I would like to invite Mr. Sarthak to share his experience in establishing a successful Indian tea brand, the Indian Cup. Mr. Sarthak, the floor is yours.
Hello, everybody. My name is Sarthak. I'm a proud founder of an Indian premium tea brand. It's called Indian Cup. We started about 2.5 years back, and it was a journey which I cherish with all my love, with all my gratitude, and it has been absolutely amazing. I would like to share a few things about the brand and what we do, how we do, and how the Russian market has showered their love to us. Next, yeah. So we are, as I said, a first of its kind premium Indian tea brand in Russia. What we do is we are supplying some of the best Indian teas to the Russian market. Our teas are natural, they're hand-picked, made with the topmost ingredients. And I think something that I take the most pride in is that the teas that we offer, some of them have been curated with the knowledge of our literature, Ayurveda, with our knowledge of blending of different spices and how different flavors can come together and make something special. That is something that we learned from our Indian history, our cooking, and that is something that I am proud to present together. But of course, why tea? It's a common question that I'm asked. The answer is simple. It's because I love it. There's no better beverage. There's no better thing that I would like to drink. It's something that I always cherish. Visiting these tea gardens, it's always an experience to meet, talk to these ladies who are plucking the teas, which then goes into manufacturing. So how this plant becomes a beverage that goes all around the world, and people living in Chile or in Bahamas gets to try tea which was plugged in Assam, India. That's something that's always very encouraging. Well, what is different? What do we do different? Is that normally the tea which you receive in Russian market or any market in the world goes through a long, tedious process. It starts from a tea garden making the tea to going to the auction. The tea is sold through auction. Then it goes to a local Indian manufacturer, local Indian packer, then an Indian exporter, then a Russian company which is importing, then followed by, I would say, another packing company or a brand, a Russian factory, which is packing that same tea to 5 different brands, just putting different brands to the same tea. And then the tea goes to the Russian stores and then to the customers. What we have done is basically revolutionize this whole supply chain. We have streamlined it to the extent that the tea that arrives in Russia is the most fresh, is the super fresh tea, which the market has probably never tasted. Our supply chain is super simple. We get the tea from tea garden to our office in Delhi. The Delhi office packs it, exports it to our office in Moscow, and our office in Moscow sells it directly to customers. So that is, that is how you get no middlemen. That is how you get the freshest tea to the market, and that is what we have revolutionized. What we have is, of course, this is what the tea looks like. This is what fresh tea looks like. I am afraid not a lot of people might have seen, but hopefully, with our as our brand expands, more people will be able to taste and experience the freshest teas, real ingredients, real tea. Next thing which I love and I really admire about our business is that we encourage, motivate, and bring the best out from India to the Russian market. We produce and buy from these real artists who are making beautiful handcrafted products from wood, from brass, from different metals, from clay. And also we love to participate in different exhibitions across Russia which are promoting Indian culture here. And what I love is that Russia is so welcoming and always encouraging for the Indian culture and Indian people. So that is something that I have had a lovely experience here, and I'm glad to share. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, Sarthak. But additionally, I have a few questions for you, which I would like to ask you. I would like to ask, what were the key factors that influenced you, your decision to enter the Russian market with a tea brand specifically?
Well, that's probably a long story. If to shorten it, I can probably say that Russia has been part of my life since my childhood. My dad has always been involved in a business in Russia with his garments. He has been exporting garments, and from my childhood, I had been accompanying him with his trips to Russia. And I've spent a lot of my childhood here, and with the Russian people, with the culture. And there's something that it's funny, but I learned about it in one of those visits about the chai, Tri Slana. This 3 elephants tea, which was this Indian tea, which was apparently very popular. It was a household staple, and so that, of course, stuck with me. I guess a few moments, probably a decade later, I had this opportunity to be a part of this meeting organized by the Indian Embassy and the Russian Trade Promotions Department, where it was exactly about the tea market in Russia, and that is where I learned about the gaps in the market, about the potential of this market, and what tea in Russia really means. It is ultimately the largest importer of Indian tea globally. So it's a big market for Indian tea. And then I would say after college, I probably dabbled with different jobs, different business ideas. Nothing worked until I visited my first visit to a tea garden in Darjeeling in 2021. I tried the fresh teas for the first time, like the tea which was produced 2 or 3 days before. It's a completely different experience, a completely different sort of aroma, the taste. And then it probably all sort of came together that, the love of Russian people for tea, the market gap, which I identified thanks to the meetings, and of course my love and passion for tea. And so it's all sort of all came together. And what I can say is that opening a company in Russia was a sort of a flawless kind of experience where I did not have any hiccups. So I think historical fondness for tea, the cultural significance that Russia has for the tea, the household, every morning it starts with tea, evening, afternoon I see people drink more tea than India here, and the government support. So all putting together, it made like an obvious choice for me to come to Russia.
Thank you. Thank you. Also, I have one more question. As you know, the international current situation where Russia is under heavy sanctions, how are you managing your payments for your imported goods?
Yeah, this is also a question which several times I've been asked with people who are not trading in Russia. especially in India, I've been asked this question a lot. But it's surprisingly flawless. I mean, Saber Bank, we use Saber Bank for all these transactions, have a very seamless system where we are trading directly with rupee and ruble. So there's no dollar involved at all. So we just transfer from our account in Saber Bank here in rubles, and we receive rupees in to our company in India the next day. So it's quite effortless. And I would say, I mean, for all businessmen here who probably value that every ruble a lot, I can say the currency rates, the exchange rates are also superb. So it's all working right now.
Great. This is also a very kind of a myth that due to sanctions, payments are a big problem right now. But as you cleared that it is flawless, so I would suggest that it is really moving, and the bilateral use of currency is moving, which is one of the main priorities of BRICS countries. Thank you. Last but not the least, what advice would you like to offer to young entrepreneurs aiming to enter the Russian market with their businesses?
Well, I'm also a young entrepreneur who has just entered the market. But all I can say is that, from my little experience, it is, of course, challenging for any business to open. Russia has its own set of challenges like any other country. What was very important is that as we are coming into a new country, it is important that you learn about the local culture, you learn about their traditions, you respect their values, and you have to really fit in. You have to understand where your space is in this market. You have to understand the importance of the local culture and what you are bringing in to the market. Of course, you, as an Indian, as I said even in my presentation, that I am proudly Indian and I proudly bring my culture here. But at the same time, I have to respect the local Russian culture and how I can blend both together. That sort of makes it even better. Then, of course, you have to study the market. You have to study that the product that you're bringing in, does it fit, does it suit, and probably understand the laws. This is, of course, so very important for any business. And probably, I mean, the government keeps introducing some schemes especially in a lot of regions in Russia. There are some tax benefits if you open a company there. So be on a lookout if that helps you, if you can make the most of it. That's probably it.
Thank you, Sarthak, for your valuable inputs. Let's have applause. Now I would like to invite Mr. Roman to shed light on the activities of the Chamber of Commerce and Industry of Ulyanovsk region and the support it can provide to young, enthusiastic entrepreneurs. So, Mr. Roman, floor is yours.
Dear participants and guests of the BRICS Youth Summit in Ulyanovsk, dear friends, as a Deputy Chairman of the Ulyanovsk Chamber of Commerce and Industry, I warmly welcome you here on behalf of our Chamber and regional business community. This summit is a really significant historic event for our region, and I thank the organizers for the opportunity to take part in it. First of all, let me introduce our Regional Chamber of Commerce and Industry. We are a non-governmental, non-profit union representing interests of small, medium and large businesses of various legal forms that work both in Russia and abroad. We act in a close cooperation with the Governor, Governmental and Legislative Assembly of Ulyanovsk region with its public associations. And our sound business's reputation is based on more than 30-year-long successful experience in developing regional economy and effective business activity. Compliant to the Russian legal system, in our country foreign nationals have the same rights and obligations in doing business as native citizens. It's clearly started by the Federal Law number 115, dated July 25, 2002, named on the legal status of foreign citizens in Russian Federation. Now let us see into the 6 steps to open an individual entrepreneurship in the Ulyanovsk region. Step 1. We check for compliance with the general requirements. To set up an individual entrepreneurship in Russia today, it is as easy for a foreign national as for a Russian citizen. The only difference is that the foreigner needs to prove legal and permanent residence in the country and provide a bit more extended set of documents. Legal stay. If the stay of a foreign non-resident on a visa is required, you shall have a valid document. If a visa-free regime is between the countries, you just need to meet the deadline during which you can stay in the country. permanent residence. It is essential for a future entrepreneur to show that they permanently resides in the country where intends to open a business. In such a case, a residence permit or temporary residence permit and the official registration, so-called propiska, are necessary. This registration can be permanent or temporary, both kinds are suitable. The relevant stamps shall be affixed to the personal identity document. Important notice, a residence permit provides more advantages than a temporary residence permit. With a residence permit, you can do business anywhere. And with a temporary residence permit, you only at the place of its issue. And the full legal capacity, it's simple. The basic requirement is the age of 18 years and older. Step 2, we select a kind of activity. Foreign nationals can choose the activity they are interested in, as well as Russian entrepreneurs. You can do anything that is not prohibited by the law. There is no specific list of prohibitions, but for example, you cannot manufacture medicines, manufacture and sell alcoholic beverages, be a patent attorney, trade in a military equipment. In some areas, may require a license, for example, for education or security and for activities related to children, public events and social services, you need to prove that you have no criminal record for serious crimes. Step 3, we collect the documents. A foreigner can open an individual entrepreneurship in Russia by providing a tax inspection department, an application for registration of an individual entrepreneur's status, a copy of an identity document, a copy of the document stamped with a residence permit or temporary residence permit, a copy of a document bearing registration stamp. When submitting the papers directly, the originals shall also be presented. Important note, if a document is in a foreign language, it is an authorized translation is mandatory. Besides, for the future entrepreneur may prove useful a birth certificate if its information is not included in the identity document, a certificate of no criminal record if necessary, a receipt for payment of the state fee if the documents are not submitted in electronic format. Step 4. Wait. We pay the state fee. Contacts with the various authorities rarely go without paying the state fee. In some cases, a foreign citizen will also have to pay money deposit into the treasury of Russian Federation in order to open an individual entrepreneurship. A foreign national needs to pay 800 rubles only when direct submitting the tax office the documents in paper form. It is better to make the payment in advance and to attach the receipt to the set of documents. And the registration in the electronic format is free of charge for you. Step 5. We submit the documents. When you have chosen an activity and prepared all the papers, all that remains is to send them to the right place and to the right people. You can submit the documents personally to the tax office, but then you will have to pay a state fee. Or you can transfer your documents to the tax service via an electronic document flow at the website of the Federal Tax Service, free of charge, but you will need an electronic digital signature, through a notary for fee, through the Multifunctional Public Service Center. It's free of charge, but you may have to wait a bit longer. Step 6. We receive a certificate of registration. You don't need to wait very long. The registration takes about 3 days only. If you meet all the requirements and have collected the correct set of documents, you will receive a tax registration certificate and be able to conduct business. Next. There are other forms of business organization by foreign nationals in Russia. Establish of a limited liability company by a foreigner. Foreign individuals or foreign companies can establish an LLC. When registering an LLC, one shall consider possible restrictions for doing business in certain areas. An LLC can be established with an authorized capital of 10,000 rubles. A duly set of documents submitted to the tax inspectorate will be wider than that of a Russian LLC. All the documents issued in a foreign language must be translated into Russian with a duly notarization. To enable a foreigner to become a director of an LLC, he shall have either a Russian citizenship or a temporary or permanent residence permit. Besides, he shall also have a work permit or patent. In general, a registration of an LLC can take 5 calendar days. Purchase of a share in LLC by a foreigner. A foreigner or foreign company can purchase a stake in LLC with a ready-made business. In such a way, you can enter the business easily, as the company has already established its business ties. And an important point is that the LLC participants are already well experienced in Russian laws, but there are several restrictions for a foreigner in entering a ready-made business. One of the barriers may be the items of the company charter, which may contain a prohibition of the company's shares sale to third parties. So if such a prohibition exists, you should first make changes to the charter and register them with the tax service, and only then to draw up a contract for the LLC share purchase. When concluding such an agreement, you shall consider one more demand of the charter, the preemption right to purchase a share. It is usually applied when there are several participants in the LLC. Here, in order to purchase a share, you will need a consent of the LLC participants. Besides, in some cases, a foreigner shall receive a permission for purchase from the Russian Federation Anti-Monopoly Service. In total, this way is cheaper and easier than creating an LLC from scratch. Set up a branch or representative office by a foreign company. Foreign companies can open their branch or representative office in Russia. We emphasize that here we mean not a new company registration or joining an existing one. The commissions of a representative office under a parent foreign company are limited to representing its interests in Russia only. The branch has more extended powers. It can engage in the same commercial activities as a patent foreign company. For the legal operations of a representative office or branches, you need to get accredited only in the Federal Tax Service of Russia at the inspection office number 47 in Moscow City. Accreditation process has 2 stages and demands to collect a large set of documents. And in this case, the documents submitted by a foreign company shall be officially legalized by an apostille or consular legalization, but the state fee is collected 1,200 rubles for accreditation of each branch or representative office. Accreditation takes 15 working days from the date of all necessary documents delivery. Final. Fork through a Russian distributor. It's core that the foreign company finds a partner in Russia who will purchase its products and sell them in the territory of Russia. And this is the easiest way, which doesn't need a registration with regulatory authorities. Besides, it's the cheapest. You need not contribute money to an authorized capital, pay state duty, rent an office, pay taxes and wages. Some conclusions. Both residents and non-residents of our country can open an individual entrepreneurship in Russia. The only difference will be in the amount of taxes paid. For example, income tax is paid on the general taxation system. For residents, it is 13%, and for non-residents, 30%. The tax rate on dividends is also different. For the non-residents, 15% instead of 13%. Foreigners have the opportunity to open and conduct business in Russia on almost the same terms as Russian citizens. The total cost of registration of an individual entrepreneur or LLC by a foreign citizen will be higher, as one needs to pay an extra the notarial translation of documents into Russian. The amount of taxation depends on the type of activity, location, and turnover and of the business, but not on the citizenship. The only difference is in the tax rate on dividends and personal income tax. A foreign company's share in LLC is 25% or more. If a foreign company's share in LLC is 25% or more, this company cannot apply the simplified taxation system. Therefore, only general taxation system remains, which may not be favorable to the company. If the share of a foreign company exceeds 39%, we will not be given a small business preferences. Let me introduce the services for foreign of the CCI for the foreign businesses. The Chamber operates on the basis of the acting federal and regional legislation, the federal law on chambers of commerce and industry in the Russian Federation from July 7, 1993, and, for example, here in Ulyanovsk, the regional law on the Chamber of Commerce and Industry of the Ulyanovsk region from September 20, 2017. Membership in the Ulyanovsk region chamber is voluntary. Having joined it, our members automatically become members of the Chamber of Commerce and Industry of the Russian Federation. They enjoy the right to a top priority servicing in its system, regardless of the services provided. And they bear the minimal costs by just paying annual membership fee. The specialists of the Ulyanovsk Chamber are active members of many public councils, expert and working bodies, being their prominent experts. Jointly with all the levels and branches of the regional government, we take part in the business missions, conduct business meetings with domestic and foreign potential partners, facilitate to business negotiations between them, widely contact with chambers of the CCI system in Russia and abroad. All these activities are between our permanent key goals. Our specialists are authorized to execute all the types of expert examinations, laboratory tests, authorized assessment of property and real estate, registration and evaluation of intellectual property, certification related to foreign economic activity, legal services, translations of documents, including their certifying with the Ulyanovsk CCI official seal. The CCI system of Russian Federation provides the qualified consulting services in accounting, HR records management, taxation and audit, business processes management and optimization. It also provides a wide range of the training events, various levels of training courses in the most demanded areas of the market activity, business trainings, online and offline seminars and webinars. In the current geopolitical realities, the service for foreign citizens for a comprehensive examination in the Russian language, which the basics of legislation and history of Russia necessary for obtaining a residence permit, work permit, and temporary residence is becoming particularly relevant. As a long-term sound assistant, the system of CCI of the Russian Federation actively helps the business community to find reliable partners in Russia and abroad. From 2019, an Ulyanovsk branch of the International Commercial Arbitration Court under the Chamber of Commerce and Industry of the Russian Federation is working. This court institution is one of the most reputable world arbitration centers respected by both domestic and foreign business. The Register of Reliable Partners is one of the most important projects of the Russian Federation CCI system. It is a non-state register of Russian companies and businesses, which financial and economic situation proves their reliability as a business partners in Russia and abroad. Well, if you have any question about registration your business or doing business in Russia, please contact our chamber's expert. Thank you for your attention and welcome to the Ulyanovsk region. Thank you.
Thank you for such a detailed presentation. I would like to ask one question. What are the common problems which generally foreigners face in Russia while registering a company, and how these barriers can be overcome?
I think the most common problem for any foreigner in the other country is the language barrier. So I can say that I think three ways of force this problem. First of all, you can learn the native language and understand this Russian language as a locals. The second, you will have to find friends and trust them. And the third, you can just come and see and visit Chamber's expert. We will help you for sure.
Thank you. Hopefully, few of our participants will be visiting you soon. Now I would like to give the floor to Mr. Mehdi, our colleague from Iran who works in consultation for Iranian and Russian companies, helping them to negotiate deals. He comes from a business family involved in the export of stones. Also, he is associated with the Iranian Chamber of Commerce. The floor is yours. I would be happy to ask you a few questions. Mehdi, tell me please, what kind of services or products are being exported from Russia to Iran?
Thank you so much for for this opportunity that you gave me to talk in front of my friends from countries member in BRICS. I should actually refer to the figures at first. I should say the general turnover of commercial relation between Russia and Iran is around $5 billion. Of course, the figure is belong to the 2022, but in 2023 we have 27% decrease. Unfortunately, and I would like to use this opportunity and presence of the head of Chamber of Commerce to take serious actions and serious actually implementation for development of relation between Iran and Russia in terms of business. But I can say the most important actually products that are exported from Russia to Iran is mostly agricultural product, raw materials, that it's around 81% of actually Iran-Russia commercial relation. Other products included machinery, equipment, and vehicle, wood and paper product. On the other hand, Iran export to Russia, it's much more less than Russia export to Iran, is again mostly agricultural products, raw materials, and it's around 60% of kind of relation, commercial relation between Iran and Russia, and again machinery, equipment, vehicles, mineral products, textile, and footwears. Yeah, that's all. Please.
Please shed light on the products which are being exported from Iran to Russia. Is there any opportunity for other countries to export some similar products or some other products to Russia?
Of course, I believe if we consider actually the other challenges like payment method, the way of negotiating with our Russian partners, definitely yes, why not? If you have this kind of production, definitely you can find your market in Russia.
So you say that Russian market is quite open for foreign products right now.
As our colleagues also mentioned, definitely after past 2 years, there are a lot of gaps in Russian market, and it's the best opportunity for foreigners, companies, to fill this gap and find their market, and they can actually, yes.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And now, before we go to the question-answer sessions, I would like to give a little background of my activities in Russia. I have a presentation, so please open the presentation. I have been living in Russia from last 7 years. I have completed my education. Then I have established 2 companies. One company is Smart Meat Services, which have 2 offices, one in Noida, India, and another is in Moscow. Additionally, I have started a fast food cafe, K-Cow Sushi, which is an e-pay. As Mr. Roman mentioned, that there are 2 types of companies which can be opened by a foreigner. I have both the types, so I have an experience of opening both LLC as well as the individual entrepreneurship company. Our company is basically an Indo-Russian joint corporation. We have both, this is our core team consisting of Indian and Russian participants. Our main sphere of service includes development of softwares, CRMs, website development, application development, consultation, and import-export activities. Currently, our team is working on 4 projects which we are planned to launch in Russia very soon. The first one is Designer Agency, the agency for marketing, branding, and advertising services. Second one is Aka Market. This market will be a B2B and B2C platform through which we initially plan to introduce Indian products to Russian market. The third one is Skatrit. This is a solution for restaurants. And the fourth one is a home decor brand called Vaya. Vaya in Sanskrit means strength and energy. This is our company's QR. You can scan it if you want to have any kind of communication with us. You can be connected with us. Apart from this, as we are here to talk about the opportunities in Russia for foreign entrepreneurs, I would like to give a basic idea which could be beneficial to understand with which kind of products or businesses you can enter the Russian market. Basically, there are two kinds of categories which you can opt. It is goods-based or service-based. I have listed a few. For example, if you are going to enter with goods, it could be fashion, agricultural products, beauty products, health products, household materials, and maybe home appliances. If you come with services, it could be IT, consultation, education, tourism, mass media. Education and tourism are the two major spheres where you can enter, and it will be little bit of less expenses you can start this business. There are many partners who would be interested to cooperate with you. You can if you want to start a tourism business, you can have inbound and outbound tourism business. If you talk about education, Russian government is now focusing on exporting education abroad. It means that they are very much open to invite foreign students to Russia. So you have the opportunity to involve in the consultation of educational programs. Then Roman has already told us about the detailed process of opening a company, so I will be skipping this slide. There are generally a corporate tax of 20%, and there are possibilities to have a simplified version of taxation, which is 6% to 15%, and you can opt any of these while opening the company. But you have to be very sure which kind of taxation you want to start, because there will be only one opportunity to changes once in a year. Additionally, I would like to add that as we have government officials also here, apart from our young enthusiastic entrepreneurs, there are many special economic zones in Russia which provide lot of benefits to foreign investments and foreign companies. So if the government agencies would like to have more information, they can visit to the website of invest.economy.gov.ru. This is the website of Russian government which provide all the information about investment projects in Russia. Thank you. This is the contact details. You can just take a photograph of the QR and connect with me on any of the platforms, whichever you like. You will find over there social media links, contact details, and everything. Thank you. So now we can open the Q&A session. Yes, sir. Can you bring microphone?
My question, rather, this thing statement to you and Sarthak is that first of all, I should introduce myself. I'm Nitesh Kumar Misra. I'm Joint Secretary to the Government of India. So I have been being asked why more and more people do not know about this rupee and ruble thing. Because I have been asked how to do business. In fact, what the both government can do more so that people know that then now rupee and ruble direct trading can be done and we do not need a third currency there. Thank you so much.
I think what I can say is, as we have a company both in Delhi and Moscow, here if we talk to any bank or anyone, they are more familiar that this transaction is available. But if I talk to, say, HDFC or Axis Bank in India, they are less helpful, and probably the people there will not be able to guide us how we can get this rupee-ruble transaction done. So I think one thing that we can probably do is training of the bankers that this transaction is available, and to encourage their customers that they can avail this facility. This is my personal experience.
Okay, so that is from the institution side. I would like to know more about from the business person side. How a business person in Russia or how a business person in India know that they can now trade in rupee and ruble, because as you said, there's a fear that there are sanctions and they cannot trade. So how we can remove that?
Sir, I would like to comment on this. The thing is, in Russia, there are people who are more aware about this India-Russia rupee-ruble trade, and they are very much eager to do this. But when it comes to Indian exporters or Indian businessmen, it is not very much available, the information about it. Only few banks have this information, and they are also discouraging. When we speak with many businessmen in India, they have two main concerns. First, how will be the payment? They fear that if they will be taking in local currency the payments, then they might not get the benefits on exports, which they generally get some kind of government subsidiaries. We try to explain them, but I suggest that there should be some campaign from the government side where businesses should be given the proper trainings and proper information that rupee-ruble trade is something which they should start.
What I can add is, in foreign transactions, the one concern of every company is regarding the EBRC that banks have to file. So, if we can just make it aware to the companies that, even if you receive money in rubles or rupee, the EBRC bank will file it. So, I think that itself will give a lot of confidence to the companies in India.
Thanks. Thanks to both of you, Akhil and Sarthak.
Thank you.
Thank you for the question. Do we have any more questions?
Hello, Nazar. I want to ask you about what kind of problems you encounter when you try to export your goods, and what kind of improvements you can suggest.
Do you have any question for someone specific, or?
I think especially to single Sarthak.
Can you please repeat the question?
Question about some issues with export your goods to Russia.
Any issues in exporting goods to Russia? I don't think I faced any. Surprisingly, the customs here has been quite lenient with us. So I wouldn't say that there has been any problems. Probably initially, I would say maybe a year or 2 years back, there was slightly problem with logistics. It wasn't that cheap or easily available, but now I think things are getting better, and we are getting good and faster logistics. If I get the question right, I don't know.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, thank you so much.
Do we have any more questions? Yes.
Hello, my name is Tulane. My question is very short and simple. I want to ask, when it comes to NGO, do you get taxed? Because NGO means that you not profit, you don't make any profit. I want to know if do you get taxed for opening an NGO here in Russia? Thank you.
Roman, maybe would you like to? Okay, I can answer that question then. If you want to open an NGO in Russia, it could be challenging as a foreigner for you because there is a rule in Russia which makes it difficult for a foreigner to register an NGO. But if in general we talk about the NGOs in Russia, there is a taxation which is almost similar as for the company. They might not be doing some job for profit, but the money that will be which will be collected from them, they have to pay taxes on it. Hopefully you got your answer.
So the answer is yes, you do pay tax.
Yes.
For running NGO.
Yes.
Thank you.
Do we have any more questions? Then I guess.
Ever since people don't want to ask questions, I can go again then. So my question is that what are the challenges that he has faced with the, let me stand up. What are the challenges that you have faced when it comes to opening a tea company? Because I heard that you're saying you started around 2021, right? Somewhere there. And you go to Russian shops, you get into a shop called Piotoroshka. Piotoroshka, is that right? Piotoroshka. So when you get in there, you find a lot of teas, like hundreds, like tea. Didn't you get maybe any kind of like being demotivated for starting a tea company? Because already the market is already versatile, it's full of tea. So what can you say to someone maybe who wants to start a company where there's a huge market cap and there's also a lot of demand? Thank you.
You're right. The first time I visited a supermarket here and saw this shelf full of teas, I was slightly scared. But as soon as I tried any of those, I was again motivated because they were not good. So I think that's a clear market gap that I identified, that the market needs good quality tea, and that is what I'm here with. So for me, it's business is more about what you have, focus on that, and promote in the market, and be confident that what you have is a good product. Not to worry about the competition. Competition will always be there, regardless of the business you are in. So just stay confident, and the market is big enough, especially for tea. It's a huge market, and I think there's space for everybody, especially for a good product like us.
I would like to add one thing here. As you know that due to sanctions, many of the Western brands have paused their operations in Russia. So it is a good opportunity for BRICS countries to enter with their products. As it is said that when the market is hungry, it is the right time to step in. And I would say that this is the right time to step in with your business here in Russia.
Yeah, sorry, I did not answer your question about the challenges. So we started this business in March or April of 2022. So that was immediately after the sanctions kicked in. So it was, I would say, the initial transition phase where nobody knew how the system is going to work. But I think credit goes to the Russian government. It was handled pretty smoothly. All the challenges that we thought we will face did not really come up or did not really rise to that extent. So it was, I wouldn't say it was a smooth ride, but it was not as bad as anyone would expect. So it had its challenges, but we could manage.
Can we have microphone in the first row?
Hi everyone, and thanks for the presentations. I'm Ashley Mabas. I'm from South Africa, and it's very interesting because South Africa is one of the fast emerging economy, and currently was standing as a middle income country with a good businesses that are emerging within our country, especially within the retail and hospitality and the entertainment itself. And most of the time that I think most of our businesses that will struggle to come to Russia will be entertainment industries, and because there's no much of information that we're getting with regard to how do you enter and partner with some of the industries in Russia. So probably can tell me if there's any relation that you might have of someone that can help South African companies should they want to enter the market of Russia, because as Ikiri said that this is a hungry market because of the sanctions, so it's a good opportunity for businesses to come and put their investment into it. So that's for you, Roman. And then for other question is that on which is another question when you spoke about CCI. I just want to find out, since the sanction took place, is there any challenges that we are facing, especially when it comes to audit, tax, and issues of deals? Because what I know that you find that there might not be PwC, there might not be Deloitte, there might not be Ernst & Young. So I just want to find out in terms of that to say, what are the other services, prominent services, as well professional services, that are there to help some of these companies should they want to come with the deals, tax, and structuring the transaction itself. And the last one is on the, I think Russia is more strong as well. Since I came to Russia, I saw with infrastructure capital project, including gas as well, and rail. So it's just to get your way of thinking in terms of what are the partnership within this space of rail and port that we think that South Africa can capitalize on from Russia? Thanks.
Well, as the CCI will help for CCI members, for sure, experts of the CCI and CCI members for sure will help you with all experts you need, taxation, audit, and that's all. Everything you need. Just come to visit the specific expert at the CCI. And what was the second question you asked?
Now, I was asking in terms of is there any partnership in the entertainment space where South African cultural and creative industry can find expression in Russia?
I need to check it. I'm not sure right now, but I need to talk to the expert. Please, just we will meet after the meeting, and I'll talk to our expert. Okay? Can you?
Yes, for example, if you talk about the entertainment industry, there are 2 or 3 Indian companies who are bringing Indian movies to Russia, and they are showcasing in different cities. It is there in more than 20 cities. So there is a good opportunity, and you just need to find good partners who can help you with this. Thank you. So.
No, it's the last question. I just want to find out in terms of the employment relation to say, when the company come to operate in Russia, how many, in terms of percentage, you can employ locally, and how many you can bring from your country?
Look, you can. There is no specific rule that from where you should have employees. You can have local employees, you can have people from abroad. It's just there are 2 different kind of salary slabs. If you want to invite some specialist from abroad, you will pay a higher tax on them, and if it is okay, you can invite them from abroad. So our time is finished. Maybe we can have discussion after the session, because we do not have time and our next session is going to start. Thank you. Thank you for attending. Thank you.